Today I'm talking about using a dolly and a short mini jib arm in order to be more productive when you're on set or in the studio, get more shots and get better shots. So what am I talking about here? So even if we're talking about a static shot, positioning the camera is an important thing. And just like I did right there, I can move the camera an inch up or down to get the framing that I want. Whereas if I was shooting traditionally on sticks, in order to move that camera up and down a little bit, you have somebody holding the camera and the tripod head and someone else is adjusting the legs. It's a big rigmarole, but I can move that thing up and down a little bit and check my framing. Oh, I like it right there, for instance. Look how beautiful that is. If you're wondering about this, I got hit in the face with a 2x4 today really hard, and it was painful. It was very painful. And I got a little bit of a thing going on my face. So I know that's distracting, but you can position that camera in 3-dimensional space super easy. That's the first big benefit that's going to help you out. Another thing is you can move beyond the capability of your sticks. So right now my camera's about at the height that this tripod will go to. But because I'm on this little mini jib, I can set it up I can set it up and get it way up there. This is about 7 foot high right now. And then I can bring the camera down low. I can get this framing like this. And you can see how quick it is to get the camera in the position that you want. Like right now, the camera's actually lower than I would be able to get if I was on just the sticks with the tripod head. So to get this low, I would actually have to take the head off the tripod, put it on a hi-hat, set it on an Apple box or something like that. Huge, just moving stuff around takes time. Moving the tripod, using the legs on the tripod takes time. Trying to set up a camera up high takes time. If you can stop wasting your time with those little bitty adjustments and take the time in the morning, the 5 minutes or so that it takes to set something like this up, you're gonna save so much time during the day when you are shooting. Now, another thing that's beneficial with this, because the sticks aren't right under the camera, and let's face it, if we're shooting on our sets tend to be someone's home, and a lot of times the spaces aren't as big as we'd like to have as camera operators, cinematographers, whatever. So I can do something kind of cool. I can take this camera and just stuff it right into the corner of a room. I can stick it right up against the wall, because if I did that with the camera on a tripod, the legs would hit the wall, so I still can't get, that last foot or 20 inches even, depending on how high it is. Another huge benefit is you can move the camera over furniture, over a couch, over something that you wouldn't normally be able to position the camera over. If there's a dresser in a bedroom, you can just fly it right over it. I can position this in so many different ways, and it's super easy. Now, that is just static position though. If I'm just setting the camera up and it's static, that's one thing. And it's awesome, being able to get it, to the wall and over things. But what if I want to push in? What if I want to pull back? What if, and you don't have to do it like fast like that. What if you're just having a slight bit of motion in your shot? And a lot of times changes in a actor's mindset, moving the camera just a little bit up or down during a shot can have a huge effect. And the way I operate jib is not from the back where the weights are at. Most people think stand where the weights are and the camera just gets way up there. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm normally just staying in this comfortable area. I can squat down to get on my knees. I can stand on a ladder and position the camera. But I'm on like one hand on the head and the other hand on the handle, and I'm making, you know, minor little adjustments, minor movements. And to me, that gives you an organic feel to the camera. The camera isn't just stationary and locked down. It has that, it has like a living, it's like a living, breathing thing. If you're using a gimbal, for instance, that is so locked down, it just feels unnatural. And that's the right look in certain situations. Most of the time though, when we're filming people, it's about the interaction between those people. And to have the ability to move in and out slightly, to have those little bit of micro movements, to move that camera up and down a little bit, to do a reveal, like for instance, I have this monitor here. You're looking at the monitor, and then you come out and you see person. So you can do that with doors, any kind of thing that you can move out from behind. Easy to do if you have your camera on a mini jib like this. Now I wouldn't get a huge big long thing because it's gonna be kind of unwieldy. So anything from about, I'd say 26 to 38 inches, somewhere in that range. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite way to shoot. It allows me to get that organic movement. It allows me to get the camera in positions where I wouldn't be able to otherwise. And it helps me do it quickly so I can get the shot exactly framed the way I want.
My style, and I've been watching you so long, I got pictures in the back of my mind. Oh yeah, the way you walk, I'm convinced you got something that I can't deny. And you ain't gotta say nothing, I can tell by the look in your eye. And I'm so into you. You already know.
So this dolly, it rolls around pretty easily. It can support plenty of weight, and it sits on these funky looking caster wheels. And then there's some little legs right here. So I can just stick my tip of my foot in here and pop it up, and then it'll lift these wheels up, and then they're off the ground and it's sitting right on this little nubs. And then when I want to move the thing again, I'll just step on this and it'll lift the thing back up, and it works really well. So I can move it into position, stick my foot in there, drop it down. Now it's locked in. When I want to move it again, step on it, and then I'm off to the races again. If you hear crunching in the background, my dog is eating. She's like just chowing down. She's digging it. I'm not gonna stop her from eating. You can live with it, right? You can live with that sound? All right, so if any of you are interested in getting a jib, I can give you recommendations on what to look for and what to stay away from. Any jib that's got like that L bracket on there and the camera sits off to the side, I really just don't like those. I've never found one that works well. If it extends and shortens, that's an awesome feature, but you want to make sure that it can extend and lock into different positions, because if they don't lock and then you're adjusting, you loosen the things and slide it out and you tighten them, having it off just a slight little bit this way is going to make a huge difference. Your camera's going to start wobbling back and forth. It's a super pain in the butt. So make sure you have one that either locks into different positions so they stay parallel, or that it has a fine-tune adjustment. Some of them have like a tube that you'll like crank down, and you can fine-tune that position so that you can get everything squared up and level. That's one thing I would look for in a jib. Another thing is a lot of them don't come with a panning base, so you have to mount it on a tripod head, which means that you'll need another tripod head. I don't like mounting a camera right on the jib. That is just, that messes with my brain. That like defeats the purpose for me of having a tool like this. Having a tripod head so you can operate the camera even if you're on a short step stool or a short ladder, or you're kneeling down like I am right now. You're moving it. You're holding on to the camera. You're operating the camera. You're just using the jib in order to position it. I mean, there are instances where I would get on the back and just do a big giant reveal or something, but for the most part, you're operating from the front of the jib, not from the back. Some other things to look for is like some of the portable jibs that are meant like traveler style jibs have a really long arm in the back, and that is great when you're outdoors because it means that you can have a lot less weight because it's way out there. Now, that's great when you're traveling and getting out there, but I wouldn't try to use one of those inside of a home because having that backside of the jib way out there is really going to restrict how you move around in that space. You're going to be like panning with the jib arm, and then the back of it's going to be taking out some piece of furniture or somebody's head. So a travel type jib in this situation is not the best. Let's see, what else would I look at? So have a panning base. I like having at least like a 75mm ball so that I can just take my the head off my tripod and mount it on the end of the arm. Other than that, build quality goes a long way on a jib. This one is not great. It's pretty decent, but on this end, like, I'm gonna just hold on to the end of the jib. That is terrible. So there's workarounds. Like, I know if I'm gonna be panning down and up with the fluid head, normally if you have slop in your jib like that, it would flop over and then it would be nice and smooth. But then when you'd start to come back up, you wouldn't have any resistance and it would flop up, and then you'd have that jitter in the transition. Now, in order to take care of that, I'll take my hand, put it on the head or on the end of the jib, and I'll put pressure in it. I'll take up the slop myself, and then when I'm panning with the head, then the slop in the end of the jib won't be jiggling back and forth. So that's just a little trick from me to you. Another trick is, like, I'll take a clip like this one and I will clip it to the arm. So I'll balance the tripod without this with my heaviest lens, and then as I move to lighter and lighter lenses, I might have to take this and clip it on there to counteract the difference in weight from the lens. So this allows me to like just balance it real quickly without having to go back in and adjust everything. So that's a pretty good trick. I hate that big ugly clump of forehead I got going on there. So I guess that's it. I love you all, and I hope to see you in the comments. Did you like this episode? Was this useful for you? If it was, maybe hit the like button so other people realize and I'm so into you. So into you, baby. So turned on by the things you do. So turned on. So into you. So into you, baby. So impressed by the things you do. So impressed.
what I want to say, I just don't know how I want to say it to you. However, bottom line, so
We out here.